Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. For those without GPS, that's where it is. UFC 240 at Rogers Place coming up on Saturday. Ticketmaster.ca for Ticketmaster's available for that. You can watch in the old pay-per-view. Dana White, UFC president, here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Dana?
I'm great. How are you, Rich?
Okay, so I don't know if this is the same thing as beer. Is it 10% more potent up there when you fight up in an octagon UFC up in Canada? Is it?
The fans up there are incredible. You know, we get up to Canada a handful of times a year, so it's fun. Great atmosphere.
Okay, what do you? I will give you the floor on what you're looking forward to seeing most at UFC 240, sir. I'll give you the floor.
Well, Max Holloway tried to move up to 155 pounds unsuccessfully. He wanted to be one of a handful of guys to win 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. Now he's back at his real weight going against the legend, Frankie Edgar. And I expect, first of all, both guys fight the exact same way. They come forward, they throw punches until they wear out their opponent, and eventually finish them. So I expect an absolute war in this fight.
Okay, and then obviously Chris Cyborg taking on Felicia Spencer in the featherweight bout right there. You've got a bona fide superstar in Amanda Nunes. How does the Cyborg outcome play into your immediate plans for Amanda and what to do with her?
It doesn't. I've been trying to get Cyborg to take the rematch with her, and Cyborg doesn't want it. So it really doesn't, unless she fights Saturday night and changes her mind. It really doesn't. So Amanda Nunes is there. She's one of the best to ever do it. She's the best female fighter ever, and I would love to do that fight again with Cyborg, but I don't blame Cyborg for not wanting to do it.
Why is that?
Because Amanda Nunes is nasty. Amanda Nunes, the women's fighting has become very popular, and, there's been so many great female fights. The difference between Amanda Nunes and everybody else is most women don't knock each other out. Amanda Nunes knocks women out, not just, ranked fighters. She knocks out the very best in the world.
Okay, and moving to the men's side of things, Khabib has become a global superstar, and he'll return after his post-Conor suspension in September. Assuming he wins that fight, what do you do next with him, Dana White?
Well, it's a very interesting division because you have Khabib, you have Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor, Donald Cerrone's in the mix, Justin Gaethje. I mean, there's just so many unbelievable fights in that weight class, and Khabib keeps talking about fighting George St. Pierre again. St. Pierre retired, but when St. Pierre retired, he retired basically saying, I won't if I could fight Khabib. So there's so many different, crazy, interesting things that we can do in that weight class.
What about Khabib Conor? I mean, that obviously would be monumental in the mind's eye of so many people in your fan base as well, Dana. Is there any possibility of that?
It would be a massive fight, and it's absolutely possible, yes.
Okay. Where are we on that front? Real time
McGregor, yeah, I think McGregor is going to come back the beginning of next year. So realistically, all these guys are looking at September to see what happens with Khabib and Poirier. After that fight plays out, I think there's going to be a lot of movement going on.
Okay. And is it safe to assume that Brock is done and that we're moving on from Lesnar?
We are.
Okay.
He's done, and yes, we are.
Okay. So then there's been a lot of talk about the Jones-Daniel Cormier 3. And obviously DC's got a big fight with Stipe coming up. And I saw him in person for a Billions episode when we were all ringside for that. And he is a monster, as we all know. Where does that whole situation stand in your estimation, Dana?
Yeah, it's funny because, not just the fact that these two don't like each other, but it's the fact that they're two of the best ever. I mean, they are literally, Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones are two of the greatest fighters to ever live. And I just think that no matter that Jon Jones has already won twice, I think that people want to see that fight, and I think that people want to see it at heavyweight. Cormier's never lost a fight at heavyweight, and he's only lost to John Jones at light heavyweight.
Yeah, I had John Jones on a few weeks ago. He didn't seem too interested in that whole concept of heavyweight.
I know.
Yeah.
And neither does Cormier. Cormier wants to fight him at 205. He's like, no. He beat me there. That's where I want to beat him. I don't want there to be any perceived advantage because we were at heavyweight.
Okay, so best guess it for me. How do you see that all playing out? I mean, do you think that we would see Jones DC 3 if obviously nothing goes awry for DC against Stipe, Dana?
Yeah, no, perfectly said. He's got a tough fight coming up against Stipe, who is highly motivated to get his title back. We'll see how that thing plays out, and if he wins, yeah, I would have to say yes. I think we would see a Jones-Cormier 3.
Okay, and then Nate Diaz is returning after a 3-year layoff to fight Anthony Pettis in mid-August right here in our backyard in Anaheim, California. What are you expecting to see from him, Dana?
It's an incredible, ridiculous fight between two really talented guys that have wanted to fight. Anthony Pettis has wanted to fight the Diaz brothers for a long time. He's going to get his opportunity at Nate, and it's going to be fun. That's going to be a very fun fight.
Right here in Anaheim, California. What does the ESPN relationship mean for you guys? What has it done for UFC, Dana?
It's been unbelievable. You know, obviously, if you're involved in sports, I don't care what sport you're involved in, everybody wants to eventually get to ESPN, right? And you know what it'll mean to your business, but you don't really know until you're in it. I've been in business with ESPN for 6.5 months. The impact that this company has had on my business already is unbelievable. They're the biggest, they're the baddest, they're the best. And it's been an incredible ride, and I'm in 6.5 months of a 7-year deal.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Yeah, just halfway through just year one, as you said, of a 7-year deal. Obviously, in the few minutes I have left with you, you're a big fight game individual. We saw Pacquiao just beat Thurman over the weekend. Do you think would you want to see Mayweather-Pacquiao one more time? They're going at it right now, and you understand you're well-versed in the chatter world and what that might mean in terms of reality. What do you think about that, Dana White?
So the fight should have happened many, many years ago in their prime. It didn't. When it did happen, Manny Pacquiao had a bad shoulder. I think that the fight does have to happen again. I think they do have to do it again. I think that Pacquiao looked great the other night against a real tough kid, younger guy, and yeah, it'll happen.
Okay, you think it'll happen? And
I do.
Okay, last one for you.
Anytime there's too much money involved, Rich, bet on it happening.
Well, then is that why you think Conor's coming back? Is that why you think he's coming back to later on a fight? I mean, because I go back and forth. You know, is he going to be in the next Guy Ritchie movie? You know, that's not obviously Aladdin, but you know, what are we going to see from him?
But you know what? To Conor's credit and defense, you don't see Conor running around filming movies. He's not. Conor, if you look at he's in great shape. He's staying in shape. He's training, and he's playing. He's seeing how this thing plays out. And here's what you have to remember about Conor. Conor will come back in here. Conor owns this whiskey company, and they're killing it. Conor has nothing but money, but Conor loves to fight. This kid is passionate about fighting, and he will be back, and he will fight again.
And when's the last time you spoke to him?
Last week.
Okay. UFC Fight Night in Newark, Covington versus Lawler. We've just been talking about, obviously, your event in Rogers Place. That's live on ESPN on the Worldwide Leader in Sports, Saturday, August 3rd. So you're going from Canada to Jersey. I love it, man. This is great. You're all over the map.
Yeah. We want to talk about all over the map. We're going from Canada to Jersey to Abu Dhabi to China. And then Australia. Yeah, we are literally all over the map.
Okay, when you going to Foxborough, Massachusetts, Dana? Because I know that deep down you'd like to go there, certainly as much as possible, starting in September. When are you going to go there?
You're in like 300 million affiliates all over the country. Come on, man. You can travel around a little bit, hit some of these things. You're on every radio station on Earth and every television network.
Thank you, Dana.
Hop into one of these states.
One in Anaheim. It's a perfectly placed one for sure. Last one for you, Dana. How long do you think Brady's going to keep at it? What do you think? I know that's your team.
I hope another 20 years. Listen to me. I cannot explain my love for Brady to you. I love Brady so much. This guy is so fun to watch. and I'm such a huge Patriots fan. But in all honesty and reality, I think he's got a good 2 or 3 left in him.
Well, that's why I brought up Foxborough, to be honest with you. Not just because it would be more geographically sound for me. It's just because I know you're a big.
Oh, you said Foxborough. I thought you said Foxwoods.
No, Foxborough.
Yeah.
No, I'm an
Foxborough.
NFL. Dana, I'm an NFL employee. I'm not going to throw out Foxwoods
you
like
are.
that. Come on now. You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No, hey, listen, we've talked about doing things at Foxborough. We've talked about doing Dallas, Texas Stadium.
Okay.
We have talked about doing Fenway Park. And now we're talking about fights at Raider Stadium, too, here in Las Vegas. So,
Man.
soon.
Maybe you could just put actual Raiders in the octagon, Dana, and just combine the whole darn thing.
Or Raiders fans.
I love it. You take care, Dana. Thanks for the call, brother. Next time
Thank you.
here in studio when you're in Los Angeles, I'd love to have you in person.
Let's do it. I'm in.
You got UFC
right,
President Dana White at Dana White on Twitter right here on The Rich Eisen Show.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.